Alright, and Falstad circuits, do they work? After producing this supposed chaos circuit, which produced one of the most stable oscillating circuits I've ever seen, just generates weird sine waves. I decided to, try this other little simple circuit, this sine wave oscillator, and you can find it here at op amps and oscillators, sine wave oscillator. I actually, um, in difference how I usually do things, I just built this with the exact components they use. Except this, of course, I just use the 1K resistor for everything. I mean, really. Um, but, here basically is the circuit. So, as you can see, and I used TLO 72 for the op amp and, these 1 microfarad capacitors, and I did not bypass the circuit. It's designed as an oscillator, so I don't have any bypass caps on the power rails like I should have. But I'm actually pretty darn impressed with the results. Um, Believe it or not, I mean, like I said, that produced a nice clean. You can see in blue there. The yellow is still that chaos circuit that's not chaotic. Um, but yeah, that produced a nice crisp sine wave. It's actually a pretty darn good sine wave. Um, so, like I said, I gotta say, because sine waves are actually tricky to generate, um, and it's good to actually have a source, and these components aren't tight tolerance or anything. It's 5% resistors, and capacitors certainly are like 20%, or whatever. But yeah, no, it produced a decent looking sine wave. That is not a half bad looking sine wave. So let's see. Channel 2. Let's measure frequency here. Oh, God damn it. Okay. Alright, so yeah, it's producing. I'm gonna get my, about 161 hertz. So, and again, that's probably owing to the difference, of me not using using that 996 ohm resistor they specified in there. But that's actually a pretty decent little sine wave. That's why I saw it on Falstad. I was like, yeah, I got to try that. It's simple enough. You know what I mean? Because it is actually difficult getting a good sine wave source. Especially since you don't even have like typical function generators readily available anymore, like the 8038s or anything like that. I mean, trying to build an actual oscillator is much trickier. Like Weinbridge oscillator, practically all of them, even to this day, still use fucking light bulbs. I mean, didn't they get the fucking memo? I mean, Obama outlawed all that shit, way back fucking 10 years ago. Or 10 or 15 years ago, something like that. But, um, so, like I said, trying to find those without that, sucks. Um, but at any rate, and you got to get the right light bulb too, not just any light bulb works. Um, so the fact of the matter is, though, it's a pretty good little sine wave generator. So if you need a sine wave generator, and it's hypothetically tunable, I'm sure, but probably not too easy to tune, to all these components. But again, I made no attempt to match them, with high tolerance values or anything. But still, if you need a sine wave source, I gotta say, this is a pretty successful little circuit. But again, not the most tuner friendly, because you'd have to change. Ostensibly, this must have something to do with the frequency. Let's see what it does. Let me make it like 500 hertz. Oh, now it clips. Okay. So evidently that has something to do with producing a nice looking sine wave. Let's see. Let's make this like 10K and see what it does. Okay, yeah, that extends it out and clips and looks distorted now. So probably has something to do with symmetry. Let me try 500. No, I know it's 500K. I wonder it clipped. Well, no. Okay, let me try 500 here. Oh, now it just doesn't do anything. So I don't know. I mean, maybe it only works at 159 hertz or something, but let me try to reset it. Yeah, it fizzles. It's over damped. Okay, now it's oscillating. So yeah, apparently, you got to tune all three of those values. That's doubled the frequency. So yeah, I mean, try to get a 3-gang pot, and good luck with that. But still, if you don't mind a fixed oscillator, it's a pretty decent little sine wave it produced. I mean, like I said, I am fairly impressed. I'm sure it's not perfect if I were to put it on a distortion analyzer, but I mean, getting a sine wave anywhere near this good looking, especially doing it in such a casual way like I did it, and I didn't even bypass the op amp, is pretty astonishing. So it's something to give a look at. It was a simple circuit to build, so I still say it's a win. So anyway, I'm impressed. So it does work. Cheers.